My name is Rose Doerfler. I'm a 2016-2017 Fulbright Research Fellow, and I'm a graduate of the University of Notre Dame in the United States. I have degrees in chemical engineering and Chinese language. This year I have been working with the Department of Chemical Engineering and the Graduate School of Bioengineering and Biotechnology at Yuan Ze University in Taoyuan, Taiwan. I'm working with a team of American scientists and Taiwanese scientists to build microfluidic devices to detect genetically modified food crops. So we're studying the two most commonly used GMOs. Those are insect-resistant GMOs and herbicide-tolerant GMOs. We're building devices that can take a sample of processed food and detect whether the DNA sequence associated with that change in gene. And we'll take a sample of soy milk or tofu or some other processed food. We'll put it into the device, it will do a little processing, and then it will tell us whether that food sample contains genetically modified ingredients. And we've had some success so far in detecting DNA sequences associated with the genes that are changed in GM food crops. Right now what we're doing is we're working a little more on the processing and improving the overall system to make it better for the user. GMOs are an issue that environmental activists and other people who just pay attention to food science in both Taiwan and the United States care a lot about. Since the current strategies that are commercially available are so expensive and time-consuming, it can make it difficult for consumers to access information about GMOs. So by making a device that's a little more user-friendly, we're trying to make information about GMOs more accessible. We've used similar devices in the past to detect diseases in medical samples. So this is the first time that we're using the same kind of technology to detect GM foods. So the project that I've been working on is a collaboration between an American team and a Taiwanese team. And before I came here to Taiwan, sometimes it could be a little bit difficult for the two teams to communicate with each other because they're on opposite sides of the world. And there's sometimes a disconnect between what the professors who are planning the project had in mind and what the students are actually doing in the lab. So I came here to try and bridge some of that gap. One story of something that happened just a few weeks ago. My professor at Yuan Ze University, Professor Sun, was organizing an international conference for polymer chemistry, and he asked me to help him out with the conference, sort of play a little bit of a joke on everyone, and have me read the announcements in Chinese and have one of the Taiwanese students read the announcements in English. So that's what we did, and everyone had a pretty good time. So that was a pretty memorable experience. I never would have done anything like that in the States. Engineering is all about problem solving, and the more different solutions you can see to a problem and the more creatively you can think about it, it makes you a better engineer. So since I've been working in an engineering lab in a different country, I've seen a lot of the differences in the academic environment and how teams here approach problems versus how teams in the US approach problems. I've learned a lot this year. I've learned a lot about chemical engineering, and I've also learned a lot about how groups of students and professors in different contexts can interact with each other and communicate with each other.